messed up completely. Welcome back. This is WeFM 106.3, and you're listening to The Morning Mojo with Stanley Bentu. Well, not too long ago, there was this very disturbing video that got circulated on Facebook, and it was that of a house help actually going at a child, barely about 2 to 3 years old. And this house help actually hit on the child in ways that made my body cringe when I saw that video. And it underscored to me how much danger our children could be in, especially when we are not around. Now, if you think you know everything about what's going on in your home, you might want to think again. So let's find out a little bit more about that. Right here in the studio with me, I have Chudi Sylvester, who's the MD of CoTrac Nigeria. Good morning, Chudi. Is that Chudi or Chudi?
Chudi.
Chudi.
Yeah.
So I got
Good
it.
morning. Yeah, sure.
I like to call him Chud.
All right. So you like Chud or Chudi?
No, of course it's Chudi.
I'm Chudi.
All right. And that voice you're listening to is Comfort Ute, who's the project manager of surveillance camera. You need to tell me about this. I saw that footage and I saw the way you reacted when I mentioned that. So it was a very disturbing thing. You leave your child at home, you hire someone, and the next thing you know, they're bullying your children. And even I, as a child, have experienced that. We had house help that were mistreating us while our parents were around. And the thing with children is you're told, if you tell, we will kill you, in fact. Not that that was said to me, but I was threatened as you can't tell your parents.
You know the changes we're currently experiencing as regards to lifestyle in Nigeria, where parents would have to leave their homes very early in the morning and come back late at night. And it means that parents have no choice but to outsource the upbringing of their children to house helps or third parties at home. And that's just basically to make ends meet, because most mothers, if they had the opportunity, they would want to go to work with their kids. But that's almost impossible. So it means that the large chunk of the day, the child gets to spend that day with probably the house help or a nanny, as the case is. Parents find it difficult.
Or even a distant relative.
Yeah, sure. It's not even distant, even close relatives.
Close relatives.
Because the challenge is not restricted to just nannies or distant relations, as the case is. So parents find it difficult to be able to measure how children get treated or their kids get treated when they are out of the house. So it becomes a challenge. And you know, children at that age can't talk. So a whole lot can actually go on without mothers actually noticing until it becomes a challenge to the child. So what we're trying to do now is to introduce technologies that can complement our lifestyle, and technology that can guarantee that parents can be able to have an eye as regards to what happens at home. And we also believe that a time will come in this country where these nannies or these people we want to keep an eye on would have an idea of what a camera looks like and probably try to dodge or probably do things behind the camera. So what we've done now is to introduce what we have called the invisible camera system that that can be concealed in the house, in an existing structure in the house, such that just the owner of the house would have an idea that's where the camera is. So secretly that camera captures what happens in the house, and subscribers can, from their mobile phones, irrespective of where they are on earth, be able to have access to what happens at home. And it's not restricted to just seeing what happens at home, but this time around you can get to listen to what happens at home. So with that, you can make informed decisions as regards to how kids get to grow in your absence, or how they get to fare in your absence. But it's not restricted to just mothers and their children, because we also have businesses. You have, especially in a season where we have, in a season like this where the economy isn't very stable, it means that the private sector, the business person, would have to do much more to be able to guarantee supervision at place of work. Because if you are the one paying the bills, you're the one taking the whole risk, you wouldn't want in any way a third party, your staff or as the case is, play with such a business. So we're saying that
there's a lot of that.
Yes, sure.
So a lot of staff who are always trying to rip off of the organization.
Exactly.
They
So
work for.
in as much as there are certain rules and regulations that have to be followed as far as public surveillance is concerned, one of those rules would be that you would have to declare to the public that you have a camera in your environment. Like in the office, you need to declare to say you're under surveillance, as the case is. and you're not allowed to put these cameras in private rooms in your office space. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, I'm sure that with technologies like this, you can have full control and being able to guarantee that members of staff are doing all they need to do correctly, and also guarantee the safety of your visitors, your customers who come into your facility to do business. You know, even not just restricted to regular office, even have schools. You know, a whole lot also happens in the school as regards to how the child gets to grow up. You know, children grow up from different backgrounds. They come into the school environment. Different children from different environments have different traits. You have children who bully other kids. The school authority would have an opportunity to be able to monitor and supervise not just the teaching in the classrooms, because you know these days we don't have regular teachers like the way we used to have, or professional teachers like the way we used to have before, where teachers would have to go to a professional school before they start teaching. Now you have people teaching in these schools just because they need to work. You know, so the owners of this school could have proper supervision on how these teachers actually deliver as far as work is as far as teaching is concerned. You could even use this footage for appraisal purposes in schools. Then besides that, there are other things that happen in schools that maybe school authorities are not paying attention to. Bullying by other pupils or other children in school, it's a very major challenge. And you have children who grow up in very rough environments and are exposed to certain sexual, I don't know.
Sexual abuse.
Yes. So
sexual assault.
yes.
Molestation.
Yes. So when they come to school, they try to practice with their fellow classmates,
Yes.
which becomes a problem. So basically, children are very delicate. It means that whatever environment they have to grow in has to be properly supervised and monitored, not just from the angle of kidnappers or as the case is, but the idea is you're sure that children are not influenced negatively. You get so we believe that even in other economies, surveillance in school determines if a child is sent to a particular school or not, because parents need to be sure that an extra eye is monitoring those children while they're in the school compound. So you don't have children coming back with all sorts of illness or coming with all sorts of bruises on their bodies and all. So for us, the invisible surveillance system can be applicable in different ways. It all depends on what the need of the customer is. What we want to guarantee is if an armed robber enters a house or a facility and he sees a regular camera, you're sure he's going to ask for the record and he'll go with it. You understand? So at that point in time, you've not solved any problem. But with the invisible camera system, you're sure it's recorded. And the third party will never have an idea there's a camera somewhere. It's not a camera that you hang on the wall, maybe a clock or what do you call that, smoke detector. No, this is almost invisible. So you, the owner of the house, will just be the only person who have access to it. So that's it.
Well, my curiosity is actually has actually been elevated because we talk about cameras all the time. People say, okay, home cameras, office cameras, and this. But according to you, there's a difference. You know, so how does this invisible camera differ from? How is it even invisible?
Your inability to actually spot where it is.
Okay.
You can enter this room, and there's a camera watching everything that's happening here. Yet you don't know. It's not the conventional type. The type that you have is almost visible.
You can see.
You can see it. Yes. What makes this invisible is the fact that you can't see it. You know, you don't know where it is. Only the subscriber can guess, of course, because this is his apartment or this is a particular room that he knows how he structured it. So you can guess from what angle that it was installed in. But aside the subscriber, that's either the homeowner or whoever it is that contracted us to install this camera, any other person who walks into this room will not know, because it can be installed in the most unsuspicious of places, in your room or in the sitting room, in the child's bedroom, in the office area, wherever it is that we're installing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that it has capability to actually pick sound.
Yes,
in addition,
yes, it does.
a lot
Conversation.
of the
Yes, that's something that's pretty important, because you can have people deny, somebody says to you that, no, we were just having a conversation. I wasn't doing anything, irrespective of the fact that the picture shows differently. I mean, you want to pick what conversation is actually ensuing, especially when Mr. Chude talked about the work environment, redundancy. They can say to you that, no, we're talking something important, but you want to get listening on what conversation, are they having constructive conversations? Okay, let's assume that they're not doing anything, they're gathered together. What exactly are they talking about? But like he mentioned, you need to ensure that there's a notice that states that there's a surveillance in that environment, whether it's a supermarket, whether it's an office area, wherever it is, as far as it's public. But at home, you don't need to tender that kind of explanation. Yes.
Wow, quite fascinating, that. And how has it been so far? What are the responses you've been getting as far as how effective?
Okay, basically what we want to do now, or what we're currently doing, is we're creating a buzz for it. It's something people are not used to, because when we started this campaign on the 1st of August, right? No, sorry, on last week Wednesday. When we started this campaign last week Wednesday, a whole lot of people were like, invisible. What do you mean by invisible? Some have said to us, can you send us a picture? And I said to them, can you see a ghost?
I'm still trying to understand what you mean by invisible. So I guess we'll have to.
So I just said to her that a ghost doesn't have a picture, so just forget about the picture. The most important thing is, once the camera is installed, the camera comes, it's a 1080 HD camera, IP camera. It's very tiny. It has a backup battery system that can take you 6 hours when the main source of power goes off.
The backup. Okay,
so it comes in.
That's whenever a main source. Is it powered by?
It's powered by electricity, but when the electricity fails, you have a backup for 6 hours. Okay, then it also comes with a 64 gig record memory, which means HD quality will be able to retain video and audio for 3 days. You can always have access to what has happened in the past and all. The conventional CCTV system would require that you have a monitor in your office or in your inner room where you get to see everything that happens and all. And we realized that if we make this happen in that direction, then it's no longer invisible. The invisibility is not just restricted to the camera itself, it's the entire package. Because yes, I can see the camera, but I can see where they do the monitoring. Then you're giving up the idea that this place is under surveillance. So
something interesting that you said, that you can actually monitor it from
your
anywhere.
mobile phone. Yeah, so
that's
your mobile phone.
That's a big difference.
Yeah,
from
so
your mobile
phone will now becomes your monitor. Because
how does that work?
Your mobile phone is it's your private gadget. Whatever happens, your mobile phone is private to a great extent. So an application based
so.
only authorized people can have access. So the whole idea is
I still hope so.
an application installed in your phone. That application has the regular authentication to allow you access to video footage from your home and your office. And some other people, because we've had this discussion on another program on WFM last week, and feedback, a lot of people wanted to know if they could have these cameras installed in different places, and the answer is yes. You can have a camera at work, you can have one at home, you can have one somewhere else. The whole idea is unlimited cameras in different places, you have one asset from your mobile phone. So that's the concept. I'll show that to you after the program.
Sure.
The last time we came, we didn't come with any form of a demo, but this time around, everywhere we would go, we would like to show a demo so that people, if I show it to you, you talk louder to some other person. You speak more confidently. The concept is, look, we want to stop conventional or adopting conventional technologies in Nigeria. We need, if the white man does something, we should be able to look at it and say to the white man, why don't you do it this other way? Because this is going to adapt more to our culture or adapt more to our environment, as the case is. Abroad, when you have a camera, it deters the criminal. One wouldn't want to approach that area because there's a surveillance going on there. But in Nigeria, that is when they want to approach that place. Do you understand? So it doesn't work. The way they design their own technology doesn't. It's not 100%. The ability for it to work in Nigeria is not 100%. So what we are doing now is look at what these guys have done, speak to them, and get them to readjust the technology to suit our own environments, which is what we have done.
So this is suited to our environment.
Yes, because
specifically developed for us.
Truthfully, power is a problem in Nigeria. So when we spoke on Wednesday, a lot of people like power. Why would? In fact, on Twitter, some people would have said things like, introducing a video. How will I even power it in Nigeria? We already know this is a challenge. And we already checked it to say the kind of person who would want to have that surveillance in his or her house would probably be able to have access to power at least twice in a day within a 6 hours gap. And that's why the battery at least can take you 6 hours when the power goes off. Because before the next cycle or when it's your turn to have light, at least the battery would be able to keep that camera up and running. And another thing is, we know that Nigerians, when they see it, is when they want to see it. They want to take it off as the cases of vandalize it, or we decided to make it invisible. I'm sure you've watched that reality show on TV, Big Brother, right?
Yeah, well, I've seen it. Not too much of it.
There are certain places where the camera is watching you, but you don't know the camera is watching you. Behind the mirror, or whatever the case is, you know.
This, I want to ask, I'm itching to ask how you explain this invisibility. I'm not sure I'm allowed to ask that, but it's just a question of my curiosity.
Let me just think. We're talking in the studio, and I believe that there are lots of things moving around in this studio that we can't see. But you need a machine or an equipment to be able to see it. There are gems in the atmosphere, but I'm sure there are certain machines that
can see the gems.
Yes, can see it. So the gem is invisible, but through the aid of something you can see. You understand? So once that thing is available, it's no longer invisible, because via that equipment you can see. So when I say to you that it's invisible, even the ghost that we can't see with our eyes, I'm sure some other people are gifted to see ghosts. So at that point in time, they wouldn't be invisible. Let me just share a story. Let me share a story with you.
All right.
The advent of this technology came from a personal experience. You know, someone I know whose little niece at home was abusing his son without her knowledge. That is to say that an uncle of mine didn't know that the wife's niece was abusing their son until they had a camera in the house, but not the invisible camera, the conventional camera. And the little girl actually thought that the camera only works when daddy and mommy are home. But unfortunately, she didn't know it records. So while both parents are out, she would send the other girls out of the room. She would strip herself of her clothes, then get to climb the bed where the boy probably is having a siesta, cover themselves up and do stuff. Now, both parents didn't know until the first day after they had installed, you know, the excitement of let's watch, and eventually they saw what they wished they never saw, or what they wish they had been seen to prevent. And I sincerely want to believe that this same story could be applicable to as many homes as possible, because unlike what usually happened before, when children would speak, a lot of children don't speak out these days.
No, they don't, of course.
You understand? They enjoy it. So
they would even be scared.
Exactly. So it becomes a challenge in future when that child gets to grow up and cannot adopt properly into the system or into the community. It becomes a challenge. And you know, upbringing of a child, that early stage, that foundation stage, is actually very important. If you don't pay attention to what happens at that time, it becomes a problem for that child.
We need to have eyes and ears in our
everywhere,
home, especially when we have young children. How much would a camera like this cost?
Okay, it costs 47,259. That's inclusive of the 5% VAT value added tax.
Okay, for one camera?
Yes, for one camera. That's what it costs. And we're trying as much as possible to get as many people interested. We're taking pre-orders. Right? So people who are interested, all they just need to do is get in touch with us. Once they, maybe sometime within the program, we get to mention our BB pin so that they can add us up and ask questions, and then also call us. We have a number which we'll call out later on so that they can call us, make pre-orders, because it's going to be basically on a first come first serve.
Is it internet based though? I mean, you wouldn't require internet if you're going to have a look from your mobile phone, or
if you want to have access to that camera remotely, obviously you would need the internet connection.
Access.
But if it's just locally, you just want to have access to the camera locally.
Okay.
One thing
so it does both.
So it's your choice. If you want to have access remotely, it means you need to have a router in the house. If you want to have access just within the house, as the case is, you do not need a router, because the camera hidden in that place, right, will transmit the video footage, will pass the video footage via the Wi-Fi connection So when you turn on the Wi-Fi connection of your phone, you can be able to connect to the camera to be able to download or watch what had happened in the past without necessarily going there to press any button. The camera is seamlessly installed somewhere. It runs itself. It doesn't require you putting on a switch and off at any point in time. That's basically how it works.
So what it does is it takes the power and puts it back into your hand, and you can have control over your home even when you're not there.
Yes.
All right, let's see if we have any questions. If you want to find out more about the invisible camera, it's quite an innovation there, then call us on 0909 499 9993. That's 0909 499 9993. Our Facebook address is facebook.com/WeFMNG. You can leave comments there or inquiries there or send us a tweet. Our Twitter handle is @WeFMNG. My Twitter handle is @StanleyBenton. Call us and talk to Chudi and Comfort. Find out more about the invisible camera. Invisible. Fascinating, I tell you.
Yeah, I think that invisible actually caught your attention.
No, what two things caught my attention? One is that you can't really see it. And second is that I can monitor from wherever I am. I don't have to be in my home or build a control center of any kind to get information on that. You have a program coming up.
Yes.
Very soon.
We're looking at the end of this month. That's 31st of August. We're going to be doing a media launch.
Okay. Well, we'll hear about that. Just I think Tony is wants to get some answers. He's calling from Garki area 2. Hi, Tony. Morning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe
it's real time. It's real time.
Well, I'll let the experts take those questions, Tony. So just keep listening. Okay.
Okay. So as regards to this, you want to take another call?
Let's just take a second question so that we can just answer them all together. Collins is calling from Kubwa. Hi, Collins.
Yeah,
good morning. It's been quite a while. All right. So go ahead.
That's a new name.
That's a new name. Good morning.
I just want to know how to it will be said. Secondly, you said something about the white men sitting at you 45. The Chinese, they are not white men. They are black men, white men. They are not really white men, honestly. And I hope your camera is from there. Is it HD or is it better?
Is it what?
Is it what? Sorry, I didn't. Chi technology.
What do you mean by
oh, you mean Chinese technology?
Okay, is Nigerian technology?
All right,
probably
thanks,
made in Nigeria.
Colin wants to know about durability, so I'll just leave you.
Okay, as regards to
wow.
as regards to declaring publicly that you have surveillance in the supermarket, for instance, I would not want to reveal what the secret will be. But let me just say that what should I say now? The white men, since he has discouraged me from using white men,
and the Chinese
in civilized economies, all right, you have something called dummy cameras. these are cameras, they're just you think they are real, but they're not real. The idea is to deter you from committing a crime because you think someone is looking at you, but actually nobody is looking at you. It has a way of preventing crime from happening. You can actually have cameras on decoy, as a decoy, you know, and still have this invisible
The real
ones still
cameras
recording as the
elsewhere.
case. I think that's just, it's something that can be applicable to the supermarket.
And they're durable.
Then as
Collins
regards
wanted
to
know
regards to
about
durability, what we have done is for the fact that we have regular cameras that are available, the durability of those cameras, the challenges cameras have has nothing to, most times has nothing to do with the circuit itself. It's the wiring, where after some time the camera goes off, it's not showing properly, the color has changed. It's not the camera itself, it's the wiring. The wiring isn't done properly, or there are partial contacts from one place or the other, then you find cameras going off the screen, as the case is. Wires are not involved in this one. So as far as durability is concerned, we've done everything possible to manage surge, because of the kind of power that we have in Nigeria.
All right, but
We've done
very
everything
quickly, I would
possible
like to
manage
know
surge,
about, does it come in, because if you're talking surveillance and having to see everywhere, there are different kinds of cameras. You have the fisheye, you have the zooming. Do they have all these different capabilities?
Okay, we attempted to use fisheye cameras, fisheye lens, but they are bigger, the lens are bigger.
Okay.
Which means
It
that
defeats the purpose.
to defeat the purpose. So,
Okay, so it's
we're
a-
using. That's why we had to go for the highest resolution so far, 5 megapixel, 1080 HD cameras that would give us clarity. It would give us that kind of quality in terms of picture.
So,
That's what we want.
which means chances are you may need more than one.
Yeah, you know. Okay, another thing she didn't mention is for someone who wants to install more than one camera in the house, you'll pay less for the other cameras. After you've bought the first one for 7,250, you pay
get a
less.
bargain.
Yes, you know. Well, basically, for other cameras you pay less.
Okay.
You understand?
Can it
So
see in the dark?
yes, it can.
Okay.
It will see in the dark. Another thing I need to mention is, considering the fact that this is quite new, we want to be able to engage a lot of people in the conversation. That's why we have the BB pin available, and likewise the mobile numbers. You know, so we want people to ask us questions. We clarify all your doubts before you place an order. But what we're saying is, we're taking pre-orders between now and 31st, because on the 31st of August we'll do a media launch. We'll come back here and come back to as many radio stations as possible. For those who have booked before then, we'll start the delivery and installations for them from that 31st of
Now,
August.
quite a number of people wanted to talk to you. Unfortunately, because of time, we couldn't take.
So we'll
much
just
of
give
those
out our
calls.
pins
But
and give
let's
us our
have
numbers.
that critical piece of
Okay,
information.
all
So
right.
that if any of you out there, sorry we couldn't take your calls, but if you need to make any contacts, here's what's coming up.
Okay, our BB pin is 5606-3E89. I'll take that again, 5606-3E89. Or you can call us on 006-555-0080, or visit our website at CoTracNigeria.com. 006-555-0080 to pre-order now, or the BB pin, which is 5606-3E89. Thank you very much.
All right, and we'll make sure we get that information to you, even through our social media channels. Kunle is saying slowly again.
Oh, okay.
So-
I'll take the BB pin again real slowly, which is 5606-3E89. Alright, then they can call us on 0806-555, which is 555-0080. Okay, or visit our website to pre-order on www.CoTracNigeria.com.
And we're waiting for the launch. Which
Yes,
comes up
The media launch on the
media
31st.
on the
on
31st
the 31st
of
of
August.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That was
you.
Chude Sylvester,
Sylvester.
and who is the managing director of CoTrac Nigeria, and Comfort Ute, project manager, surveillance camera. So glad you could come.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks to my producer, Kunle Adede, for keeping me organized. Thanks to the rest of the team, to Sports News and Engineering. Thanks to 6-5 Broadcast for the technology that we apply. Thanks to everyone who listened to and called in on the station. Thanks to my executive producer, Steve, for the love and support.